represent the Democratic team. And to start off, we're going to say that we're trying to create a strong middle class with our position, and to do that we're going to try to keep house owners in their homes. We're going to try to prevent foreclosures and try to help people refinance their homes. Try to help people refinance their homes. And underwater homeowners save $3,000 a year. And then move on to the auto bailout situation that well, we saved Chrysler and GM. We prevented the loss of like millions of jobs, and we're gonna still try to do that. And then the bank bailout situation. We're figuring out like that some companies aren't doing like proper things with their bailout money. For example, the American International Group received like $150 million of bailout money, and then we just discovered in March that they used $165 billion, not million, and they gave bonuses with that money. And so we're going to start like trying to get like companies to start repaying the bailout money. And just as an example, like American Express, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and Morgan Stanley are all paying back about $68.3 billion pretty soon, and that's about like a fourth of the whole money that we've given out through bailouts in 2008. And then about the Federal Reserve and inflation, we want to reform the Federal Reserve just to make it more effective, and and we're going to pump more money into the economy to regulate inflation.
Pretty much, Mitt Romney is more for less government involvement in the economy. For instance, with the Fed, he wants to keep the Fed, though, unlike other Republican stances, because he doesn't want to see Congress responsible for such big commitments as the Fed already has. He believes that Ben Bernanke, who they just reinstated, is perfectly capable of handling it, and he thinks he's done a good job with it. But he would like to see it audited so that everyone can see what the Fed has been accountable for, what they've been doing, and how the money they spent has been utilized. In regards to the housing industry, Mitt Romney believes that you should not try to stop the foreclosure process and let it run its course and hit the bottom, because government is what to blame that happened for it to begin in the first place. He wants to cut the federal aid, downsize the government programs, and let the free market sort things out so that it can return to the place where it was before the government tried to get everyone into a house. In regards to inflation, Romney believes in raising minimum wage in relation to the inflation. He wants to keep inflation, though, rising like it's naturally to happen in an economy, but keep it on the lower end of it, so it's not incredibly skyrocketing. And for the auto bailouts, Romney wants the auto industries to be using a managed bankruptcy. He says by going bankrupt, you can get back on your feet. By going through those trials and tribulations is what makes you come back to where you are and come out stronger from it. The government will maintain financial lines of credit and manage bankruptcy, and it would honor the contracts to keep suppliers operating. So because of that, what would happen is that like warranties on cars and people still owning something relating to the company, it would still be like in use, it can still be working. You still have those jobs, but they would still be having to go back through bankruptcy and figure out what to do for themselves without relying on the government.